Hello, and thank you for being here. My name is Michelle Shelton. I'm a registered dietitian and certified coach. And in this channel, I teach people strategies for health and well-being that honor their bodies, honor their system, and help them work with themselves and partner with themselves versus fighting against your body and your physiology and your intuition, right? So much in the health and wellness industry have us working against ourselves, and it doesn't work in the long term, right? We have some initial success and then it stops working. And so what I want to offer to you is something that brings you back into connection with yourself and sets you up for a long-term path to health and well-being. It's based on principles of intuitive eating. It's based on tools from internal family systems, as well as the work of Dan Seigel in Interpersonal Neurobiology and his Wheel of Awareness. So some of the very best tools out there in terms of wellness curated here for you to help you to achieve a whole person approach to health. So just to give you a little bit of a picture of what that looked for me and why I value and think that this is so important and want to offer it to you. Because I've been there. I've been in the calorie counting and the dieting and the restricting, and I did have success. I did lose weight, and then I regained it, and then I lost it, and then I regained it. And it took me to a really challenging place where I was sort of always fighting with my body, fighting with my signals and cues, and honestly just lost complete trust and didn't think that I was able to kind of regulate my own intake. And none of that is true. Wasn't true for me. It's not true for you. So it's just a result of sort of that dieting process and fighting against yourself. So we're going to do we're going to take a different approach. When I first discovered these tools, what it looked like for me was sort of stopping the yo-yoing up and down to going to a place of where my weight stabilized, and then it slowly dropped to my naturally healthy weight. And then I was able to maintain that weight through a very stressful graduate school program, through 3 pregnancies, through the pandemic, through the process of just parenting and raising children while managing a career, right? All of the stresses and ups and downs of life, maintaining a healthy weight and a focus on my health through all of that without fighting and working against myself. That's what I want to offer to you. Those are the tools that we will work through together on this channel. So first of all, the first principle that I think is really important, kind of lays that foundation that we're going to talk about today, is honoring your hunger. I want you to stop and notice when I even just say that, honor your hunger. How do you feel about your hunger? What does that surface in you? Many of us are honestly afraid of our hunger. We have fears that it drives us to eat too much. We blame our hunger for the reason that we're in a larger body than we want to be in. We have a history of fighting against it, of trying to control it or trying to ignore it, right? And so a lot of us have kind of a complicated relationship with hunger. So just pause and take a minute and notice what comes up for you when I say honor your hunger, right? And really notice it and work with it. And I want you to take this moment and this video as an invitation to stop the fight and reframe your beliefs about hunger. And I want to suggest to you that your hunger is not working against you. It's actually working for you. Your hunger is a healthy signal to let you know that it's time to eat. It lets you know that your body needs a refuel. It's a survival mechanism because food truly is critical to our survival. So your hunger is trying to help you know when you need some fuel, when you need to eat, and what you need to survive and be well. It's working for you. And so let's receive that, honor it, and partner with it. The other thing I want to offer to you is that the impulse to eat is not naturally on overdrive. I don't know if you've ever felt that way. I have. I've been there where it feels like I just always want to eat, and it's kind of this overdrive impulse to eat. That is not its healthy, balanced state. Our signals for hunger go into overdrive when it senses that it might not get the food that it needs because of a food shortage, because of famine, because of food insecurity, right? All of those sort of drive that overdrive to eat. If you are feeling that overdrive to eat, the way out is to build trust that when you're hungry, you will respond. That is the way out. Whereas dieting, on the other hand, actually fuels the fears that our hunger needs are not going to be met, right? It actually drives that sense of famine, of food shortage and insecurity, even if it's not real. it's something that we're creating for ourselves, right? So it creates that overdrive. So I just want to offer that to you, that the way out is through rebuilding that trust. And so how do we begin to do that? There's 3 things I want to offer to you. The first thing is to practice tuning into your body's sensations and begin to build awareness of what hunger feels like in your body. Many of us don't really know the more subtle signs of hunger. We know what it feels like to be intensely hungry, right? That's pretty easy to notice, right? Our stomach hurts so much, those intense pains, right? That's pretty obvious, but I want you to start tuning into what hunger feels like in your body so you can become aware of the more subtle cues. So some common signs of hunger include mild gurgling, gnawing in the stomach, growling noises, difficulty concentrating, stomach pain, irritability, feeling faint or fatigue, a headache or lightheadedness. Those can all be signs of hunger. Sometimes even just thinking about food more can be a sign that you are ready to eat. Okay, so I want you to begin to tune into your sensations, tune into your body. The second thing that I want you to begin to practice is checking in with your body on a regular basis throughout the day. Okay, so the first one is noticing sensations. The second one is checking in on a regular basis. Check in every 3 hours and just notice, what are you sensing? What are you feeling? What's going on for you? Where is your hunger in this moment? If you think about your body, your metabolism as a fire, right? You need to continually give it fuel to keep it burning, to keep it working for you, right? You can't just put wood on a fire and expect it to then burn the rest of the day. And you can't ignore it all day long and then suddenly put the fire in or the wood in at the end of the day, right? It's something that you need to continually fuel to keep it working for you. So check in every 3 hours and just notice what you're sensing, what's going on for you. If you notice that you haven't eaten for over 5 hours, it's probably a sign that maybe you aren't as in tune to those early signals of hunger and you may need to eat. I would recommend that you eat if it's been more than 5 hours because your body levels are probably dropping and you're going to get into overhunger at that point. So check in every 3-ish hours. And then the third thing is to start to notice your hunger levels. So if you had a scale from 0 to 10, where 0 is famished, I'm so hungry, I'll eat anything that you put in front of me, and 10 is I'm so full, I'm painful, it feels painful, I feel like I might throw up, that's level 10, right? Start noticing where you fall in that intensity of hunger versus fullness. And one way to think about it is sort of pleasant versus unpleasant. Levels 0, 1, 2 is unpleasant hunger. That's when it just is so unpleasant, painful, uncomfortable, right? Those stomach sensations are getting to the stage of discomfort. On the other side, 8, 9, 10 is uncomfortable fullness, right? Just that tightness. It doesn't feel good, right? You kind of can't wait to digest a little bit because it just isn't feeling great. Levels 3, 4 are comfortable hunger. I want you to start to notice if you can feel where comfortable hunger starts to come in. Level 5 is neutral, and 6, 7 is comfortable fullness. If you have ever been uncomfortably full, learning to stop at comfortable fullness is an immediate way to start feeling better, right? And to be able to notice comfortable fullness, it begins with comfortable hunger. Because if we get too uncomfortable, that extreme hunger in levels 0, 1, 2, that drives that overreaction, drives that rebalancing to overeat, and we tend to go to the extreme, right? So going to the extremes of uncomfortable hunger to uncomfortable fullness, right, is just constant discomfort. Whereas if you can kind of stay in that zone of comfort, level 3-ish to 4 hunger to 6, 7 fullness, you're just going to be feeling a lot better. You're going to be a lot more comfortable. And it begins with honoring your hunger. A really important principle. Hopefully this feels like good news to you. You can let go of that pattern, of that tendency to fight against your hunger, and you can start to honor it and listen to it and even appreciate it. So thank you again for being here. Please click subscribe for more tools and tips on how you can build a whole body, whole person approach to wellness that is sustainable and that honors your system and honors that natural wisdom that you have versus fighting against it and creating the distrust. that is the journey that we're on here. So please click subscribe if you're interested in learning how to work with me as a health coach. You can go to nourishwhoyouare.com. You can learn about my program. You can sign up for a free coaching consultation. I'd love to hear about your journey and the challenges that you have, and I'm happy to offer just what it might look like to work with me and how I can support you on your journey, just help you to achieve that place of wholeness and health and well-being that you were looking for. Thank you again for being here. I will see you in the next video.